In our country, we're suffering from an epidemic. It's not the flu or smallpox or any kind of physical threat, but one that's much more insidious. Americans are consumed by fear. Studies show that the majority of people in the U.S. are paralyzed by fear. Perhaps as many as 85% of Americans live with a sense of impending doom. Whether it's fear of a family member becoming ill or dying, the fear of not having enough money to survive, or the fear of world war, this level of anxiety can paralyze us. Over the next few weeks in our Sunday services, we're going to be looking at the gospel accounts of Christ's birth, as we often do at Christmas time. When we read these accounts, we'll see that fear was prevalent. Angels visited Zechariah, Mary, Joseph, and the shepherds with messages that brought doubt and uncertainty. The mere appearance of these angels generated fear. And as we examine each situation, we'll see in them a concern to which we can relate even some 2,000 years later. And yet, in each instance, the angels began their messages with this phrase, "Do not be afraid." Zechariah and his wife had wrestled for years with unanswered prayer. Mary, just a teenager herself, was given a formidable task. The shepherds heard good news from a whole host of angels, but it must have been overwhelming for them to consider that the holy God of eternity would be lying in a feeding trough. After Joseph's angelic encounter, he was left in a terrifyingly uncertain situation. In each instance, we'll see, as the Scripture unfolds for us, that the key to overcoming our fears and anxieties is surrendering them to the all-powerful, all-knowing God of the universe. In doing so, we'll learn how we too can trust, be obedient, humble ourselves, and rest in His strong arms. Join us in December as we learn what it means to surrender our fears and make room in our hearts for God to write His story.